Breaking news. Mary Poppins has been cancelled. Julie Andrews is singing no more for Britain's best-loved nanny since 1964 has been found out. She's no magical mother from the heavens. She's a dancing demon with a bottomless bag of racism, sexism, and ageism. Here is why the Disney classic is so triggering for modern audiences. Mary Poppins is super racist. On the surface, the flying nanny barely breaks wind. Break through the surface, however, and Poppins is not a spoonful of sugar, but a motherload of social injustice. As the British Board of Making the World a Better Place rightly points out, this scene is obscene.
We're being attacked by Hottentots!
What did you just say, old man? Hottenwats?
Hottentots!
Mary Poppins is not hot to trot, for this word is hotter than hell and no longer suitable for a universal age rating. As the BBFC says, Mary Poppins includes two uses of the discriminatory term.
Hottentot!
While Mary Poppins has a historical context, the use of discriminatory language is not condemned and ultimately exceeds our guidelines for acceptable language. It may be a word no one has ever heard of, but it is enough to send a chill down the spines of every modern viewer when they Google it. A Hottentot is not a Pop-Tart or a tater-tot. It's an old word used by evil white European men to describe the indigenous people of the Western Cape. Why didn't Magical Mary activate her super listening powers and immediately fly over to give Admiral Boom a rollicking? She was more interested in fireworks than correcting the discriminatory language of a racist old sea captain. Unacceptable in 1910, 10 BC or year zero. All characters, no matter their time or place, must adhere to modern values. A scene sure to trigger even the most triggerless of trigger-resistant viewers. As Professor Daniel Pollock Pelsner points out in the New York Times, her face gets covered in soot, but instead of wiping it off, she gamely powders her nose and cheeks even blacker. Mary Poppins is no Mother Teresa, she's a complete and utter disgrace, in blackface. Even the kids and the full-time chimney sweep get in on the action. Such scenes of men, women and children shooting up chimneys and coming out covered in soot are no longer suitable for modern audiences. Next time, bring a towel, Mary, or use your umbrella, for your cheeky chimney days are over. Take a look and a sharp intake of breath. On first glance, a sweet and innocent little smiling Edwardian family. Yet, look closely and unconscionable unconscious bias comes to the fore. The Banks, like every person in Mary Poppins without a sooty face, is 100% white. Where is the diversity? Up the chimney, or in a brown fox, chased by white horses. Mary Poppins is whiter than a day out with Tom Cruise on Mount Rushmore.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Hold it right there, Poppins, for that is super sexist. In his book Crazy English, Richard Lederer dropped a bombshell. The super word is super duper discriminatory. What does it mean? Super, above. Cali, beauty. Fragilistic, delicate. Expiali, to atone. Docious, educable. Add it all up and what do you get? A super-sized cocktail of toxic masculinity. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious represents a woman who must atone for her intelligence through her beauty. Watching Mary Poppins tap dance in Toontown will never be the same again. Remember Mrs. Banks? Few do, but of the few that do, they'll remember that she wasn't just a wife or a mother, but a fighter for women's rights. A suffragette. How is her valiant fight for gender equality portrayed? Is Mrs. Banks raised aloft as a hero, a shero, an inspiration to all people kind?
Mrs. Banks, she's home.
Our daughters will adore us, and we'll sing in grateful chorus, while scattering pamphlets all the way.
A stark raving nutter. The women's suffrage movement does not move the heart, it moves people to laughter.
Our daughters will adore us, and we'll sing in grateful chorus.
Mrs. Banks' just cause is just a laugh. She's a comedy character in a world that makes fun of women. How is she as a mother?
Winifred, where are the children?
They're not here, dear.
Well, of course they're here. Where else would they be?
I don't know, George.
You don't know?
While she's out fighting for the vote, her children are out, getting lost.
Michael.
Winifred, please don't be emotional.
She goes through nannies like Leonardo DiCaprio, goes through Victoria's Secret models.
My dear, you've engaged 6 nannies in the last 4 months, and they've all been unqualified disasters.
Only a man, Mr. Banks, has the brain to do her job.
I think it might be apropos to take it upon myself to select the next person.
Oh, would you, George?
Mrs. Banks is a brainless suffragette bimbo, played for laughs. What of the other women? They're the nanny, the maid, or the woman covered in bird shit. Mary Poppins, the only woman who resembles a strong and independent modern woman, typically takes care of the kids and helps a fallen father fall in love with his kids again. Once her work is done, she moves on, because now the man is taking over. All the top jobs all belong to old white men. The bankers, the admirals, the police. Just another dick in a suit. When Mary Poppins is not popping off with racist remarks, sexist stereotypes, and dancing penguins, there's an age-old problem. Ageism. All the old characters in the 1964 classic are a classic case of bagging on old bags. Admiral Broom is not just an old bigot, he's Admiral Looney Tunes. The old man is off his rocker. He shoots a cannon from his rooftop, calls chimney sweeps South Africans, and washes his house in a rowboat. Mary Poppins has no time for people with time on the board. Here is Mr. Dawes Sr. Look closely. No, closer. That's no old man. That's the blackface chimney sweep in a blatant act of old face. The film has such disregard for the elderly that the elderly can't even play the elderly parts, though the old face did turn out to be eerily accurate. When the old bag is not running for cover from bird shit, she's feeding the birds. Tuppence a bag. Mary has the power to fly through the sky and ride cartoon horses, yet not once do we ask why. Why doesn't she offer her bottomless bag of riches to the homeless woman stuck inside a snow globe? The answer: because she's old. Mary only cares about children. In 1953, Peter Pan and his Lost Boys showed that kids don't need their mothers, their maids, or their nannies. They just need one hot fairy called Tinkerbell. In Mary Poppins, kids are thrown back into the playpen and told what to do at every turn. The mystical nanny runs a nanny state. She barks orders at the banks and robs them of their agency. Adults telling children what to do is a massive spoonful of age-based discrimination. For 60 long years, a spoonful of sugar helped the medicine go down. Mary Poppins was a beloved classic adored by children and adults alike. Now she joins the Disney Club, the cancelled club. Peter Pan, Dumbo and the Aristocats say hello to another member who comes with a trigger warning. Beware all who go there. Mary Poppins will make you pop. A racist sea captain, a brainless suffragette, soot-covered blackfaces, and even an old face. It's time to turn down the sound of music and turn up the volume on new Disney heroes. Women for the modern age with stories for modern audiences.
That will be quite enough of that.
Oh, that's sad. That's the saddest thing I ever heard.
Come along, children. Spit spot.